Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. And what has happened to the Abarth? Find out now. So this is what has happened to the Abarth. It has pretty much run out of oil. So my dad has been on and on at me about, you must check the oil in your Abarth. R1 keeps using it because it's a new car and it's going to. I have kept ignoring him like a silly fool. And my dad asked me the other day, let me check your oil. So I said, oh, alright then. So he lifted up my oil cap there, took the dipstick out, and it didn't even have a reading on a dipstick. The oil was so low. So I've been a bit of a naughty girl and I haven't been driving the Abarth for that reason. So we have now got the Abarth oil going into it now. So we've just topped it up with this 2 litre can of Abarth oil, and we're just about to take another reading from the dipstick to make sure it's nice and full up so I can begin using her again. Okay, so I've just come back from a quick dog walk and I noticed the bonnet is down on my Abarth, so that must mean the oil is all topped up and she is ready to be driven again. Good times. And yes, I do rely on my dad heavily when it comes to engines and mechanics, because as much as I love cars, I haven't a clue when it comes to mechanics and engines. I just buy cars because I like the look of them and I like how they drive and I like it when they work properly. And you will notice she is now at the back of the driveway, and that's because we've had another driveway shuffle, so let me tell you a bit more about that. So here she is at the back, because obviously she's at the back because she's not been used while I've been using the logo for work. And then just showing you the front of the drive, we have our trailer, my parents' Abarth and my brother's Focus ST over the driveway at the moment. So we tend to have a swap around. Again, my brother has a company work van, so he doesn't use his ST much. So sometimes that's at the back, mine's in the middle, and my parents is at the front, because obviously while I'm at work my mum might go out. So that's the reason why that is at the front at the moment. They've been using that today. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain when I want to come home of an evening and treat myself to a drive in the Abarth, because I have to get her out all the way from the back. But yeah, it's worthwhile driving her again. And here's how the front of the driveway looks from this angle. My parents' dirty Abarth sitting proudly at the front of the drive. And you'll notice if I swing that way, the Volvo is there, and that's because my brother managed to finally sell his Saab, so that's created another space, so we've decided to dump the Volvo in there. So by putting her here, this means we have an extra car on the drive, and it means we can still put the cars along here and open the doors from these cars and walk down the sides of them without scratching either cars. And while we're on a Volvo, let's talk about her, because we've had some progress finally on her. Oh, it's locked, it never is. Let me go and get the keys. Right, I've just got one of the Volvo keys out of the house. This is key 1 of 3 because it came with 3 keys. Never had a car with 3 keys. I don't think any of us have ever had a car with 3 keys, talking of that. So that way. There we go. And let's show you all the crap inside. This is currently a Volvo dumping ground. But you will notice in this dumping ground we have a seat in, so that is one clue as to where we've gotten with this car. And I did have to buy my first car part for the Volvo, and that is this thing here. Is one of about 2 or 3 electronic boxes we have in the car. We thought this might be one of the reasons why she wasn't starting over. It was only 50 quid for a used box, and it controls some of the electrics that weren't working, which now are, so that was money well spent there. So yeah, by replacing that box, some of the electrics now work, so that then got us on to trying to get the vehicle started again, because she wasn't turning over at all. We topped her up with £5 of petrol as she was low, and we drained the old petrol out. The old petrol was actually a really dark, dirty colour, so yeah, we filled her up with some fresh petrol. So yeah, we added some new petrol into her. Then my dad jacked the car up by his engine crane. He lifted the whole car up and got underneath to the starter motor. I believe, as I was out at this moment, he gave it a couple of knocks to release the starter motor, as it's probably seized. So yeah, we jacked the car up, gave the starter motor a knock, put the spark plugs back in and cleaned all that area up. Petrol was then in the car, and while I was out, he got her to start for the very first time, and when he phoned me to call me, I could not believe it. I was over the moon, as all it took was a knock at the starter motor, £5 worth of petrol, and she runned, but that wasn't the end of our worries because she wasn't running right. The revs were all over the place. Sometimes she was flooding out the engine, so she was running too rich, so sometimes she'd start and rev really high, or sometimes she'd rev everything nearly cut out, but she didn't. So now we lead to why the seat is in, and that is because she now drives. And again, that wasn't so easy because once we'd started her up, my dad wanted to see if she'd drive, but she wouldn't go into any gears, so that's when we thought we needed a new gearbox. All we wanted to do was just move her up and down the driveway, take her for her first drive, but it wasn't as easy as that. So what we did is we forced the clutch pedal down overnight, as I believe that is a tip to, I don't know, obviously sort out the gearbox, because it worked. The next day, again, my dad phoned me up while I was at work and said, she moved. So, well, he didn't move her without me. He was able to select gears. Then when I came home, we took her out the driveway and yeah, we moved her, we drove her for the first time, and here's a video of my dad doing just that. Yep. Woohoo! She moves, she moves. Can't believe she drives. Don't she look nice, ads? Hey?
What if you take it around the block?
No.
Why?
Just leave it for a bit.
No reverse.
No, I know. Just noticed that. At least it reverses, though. I don't know. Normal, I think. In here. So yeah, I've crammed myself into the car at the moment, but as you can see, she is nowhere near finished. I guess the next thing is to get her running nice and smooth at constant rev, I guess. She's now starting every time, so that's good. Yeah, and just to get her MOT ready, really, get some new tyres because they're perished, and rubbers, check all the bushes underneath and rubber bits, and yeah, so that's an update on my Volvo project. Oh, and she is now on 4,000 miles. She's a big girl now. Suppose I better tell you about the boring old tatty car, which is my Honda logo, so let's go and see how that's getting on. And my brother is having a lot of problems with his ST. We'll talk about his many issues with that in a little while. Range Rover is currently parked outside the house for some reason over here, and let's go across and show you the logo. We're also having problems with my dad's transit van, as he thinks the gearbox has gone, as 1st, 2nd, 5th and 6th I believe have gone, and he also had to be rescued by the AA man the other day for a water leak, but yep, now he can't drive this because of a gearbox issue. Great. And when it comes to trusty old logo, she now has 2 front new tyres, as the steering was all over the place and they were bowled, so she now handles a little bit better. I think she still needs tracking, so steering's a bit shaky, but yep, she's got 2 new tyres on the front. They're not Pirellis, they're not Michelins, they're not Goodyear, they're Runway budget tyres, oh yeah. And since owning the logo, I haven't actually given her a clean, as I don't really see the point, because she's not there to look pretty, she's just a workhorse. A car to drive me from A to B, so yeah, she's sporting a lot of bird poo at the moment, but, you know, whatever. So that's it for the cars. that we have to park over the road. My logo, Dad's van and my brother's work van. Let's go back to the driveway. So this was just a quick update vlog, as people have been asking me, you know, where's your vlogs? So this was just a quick one of what's going on in my life. And just a little teaser, today I may have found my next new car, and in my next vlog I'll be telling you more about that, as hopefully by the time I record my next vlog I would have taken this other car out for a test drive. I've had to come indoors because my parents are going out and the Abarth started up and my brother's starting up his ST and putting that in the driveway, and it's all chaos outside. So anyway, subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep updated with my life and my love of cars, and give this video a like so I know you're liking my stuff, and comment below of what you think the next car could possibly be and what your thoughts are on getting my Volvo finally running. And yeah, just your comments on this video, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, have a nice day and evening and morning. Goodbye.